Okay, everyone, let's make sure that everything is working the way it is supposed to. It looks like it is. It looks like it is. I just want to verify that I'm streaming everywhere that I should. Okay, so I am on DLive, and we're on YouTube, and we're on Twitch. We're on Rumble here, and we're on Pilled, and we are on Party. Let me check. Facebook is the one I'm not sure that it's working the way it is supposed to. Ah, I am on Facebook. Great. Perfect. That is what I want. So, good. Okay, friends, this is a doozy. I'm just gonna let you guys know this is gonna be a doozy of a show. Not only gonna feed the chickens, but we have a crap ton. I got to the point where I have notes. So I have notes. I do want to check. Let me make sure chat works. I'll just do the make sure that I can hear chat. I cannot hear chat. Chat is going to be very important today, so I need to make sure I've got chat working. So we're going to make sure chat is. That is not what I want to connect. Nope, that is not what I want to connect. This is what I want to connect. And I want this to be...
Battery 98%.
Okay, one more test. I know, it's a weird test to say. Apples are fruit. Great, that's all I wanted. Perfect. I can hear chat, and that's what is most important to me. Now we can go have our conversation. We can go feed everyone, and we can go. So we're going to start this off really calm and simple first, just so you guys know. So we're going to do a very simple, calm chat today. At least for the first few minutes. But those in about 5 minutes, just make sure you guys understand. I'm going to talk about things that are in the category of conspiracy, are in the category of rabbit holes, but not just any rabbit hole, my friends, but the rabbit holes that I refer to as the rabbit holes that lead to dragons. And if you don't know what that means, it means that if you go too far down that rabbit hole, you're going to get burned because you're not going to want to find the dragon. So for many of you, be forewarned, if you're new in the conspiracy world and you haven't quite understand this, it's going to get crazy. You're Fernando. But before we get into that, let's just do a nice little, beautiful cloudy day. Temperature, it's about 11. Beautiful cloudy day. Temperature's 11. I believe it's the 8th. We got icicles everywhere on my house. And we're going to go out here and we're going to get everything up. I'm going to start with getting the water first, and then we'll move from there. And you'll understand why all this is going to be important in the future. So, oh boy, friends. Let me make sure I'm not on. Here we go. I don't know why I lost signal there for a minute, but I'm back online, so that's good. Yeah. So friends, yeah, let's just say. Okay. Hey, I heard Tough the Titmouse. Yeah, I see one. Anyways. Oh boy, friends, this is going to be interesting. So, what do I mean by they have a plan? And it's not let's just make it simple. Everything that you're reading in the Epstein files, everything that a lot of your conspiracy friends have talked about, all that stuff, this isn't play. This is not play. It's never been play. It's just the monster class. Some people call it the elite. Some people call it the cabal. Some people call it the ruling class. Some people call it a variety of things. But the truth is it's the bad guys and the monster class and what they're going to do to you because how they view you. Now, some of you are probably going to think a variety of things, and that's fine. If you want to think I'm crazy, go right ahead. When you are the sane one in a crazy world, that is, you're going to be viewed as crazy, insane, all the other kind of stuff. Let me get this set up and open, guys. So you're going to be viewed as crazy, insane in the membrane. I want you guys to think about something for a second here. For years and years and years, we've been taught, we've been directed, we've been sent down a particular path. And people want us to believe things. And again, this is same for the conspiracy theorists. I got my notes so we can break into this. But I want you to understand is that the monster class and us aren't the same. Like we need to have a baseline right now so you guys understand how absolutely different the monster class is. For most people, the easiest thing to refer to it is that we're not even part of the same species. We're not even part of the same groups. One of the best ways that I've heard anybody ever describe it is, I want you to get down, I want you to pick your favorite, just pick your favorite like warring game. And I want you to send those troops in to fight for you, to fight for your kingdom. I want you to send those guys in. And then I want you to think about every pixel that you see. And do you care about any of those pixels? Do you care about any of them? That's how they view us. So, we are nothing but tiny pixels to them. We mean nothing to them. We are fodder. We are the livestock. And not like livestock as in like you're a cool farmer, like I am a gentleman farmer, but we're talking about industrial farming. We're talking about the farming that they give a shit about. If the animal can make them money, that's what they're going to focus on. So I guess let's just see. I don't know why we're losing signal, but maybe there's just stuff I'm not allowed to talk about, and that's fine. So we need to start off as they are not clueless. They are not clueless at all. And the idea is you're playing the wrong game. See, you think you're following the rules of society. You think, oh, all these people in the Epstein files. You think of all these people we keep finding us that they're going to be punished. Oh, because this particular person's in power or this particular person's in power. But they're all part of the same ruling class that hates you. They're monsters. They're absolutely monsters. They don't give a shit about you. They hate you. You're just in the way if you're not giving them what they need. So a lot of times people think that the ruling class is just dumb. I hear it all the time. Oh, how can these politicians be so dumb? They focus on this immigration thing. Oh, let's bring in all these people that aren't culturally compatible. Again, I got no problem with immigration with people that want to come and be Americans. They want to come here. They want to live the American dream. They want to do the wonderful thing. So they want to go in. They want to be part of the British dream, or they want to be part of the Australian dream, or they want to be part of the Norwegian, Swedish dream, that kind of stuff. They want to integrate and be part of that community. But when they don't, and we see this like with some of those groups of Somalians, we see it with groups of Chinese, we see it with groups of nothing. And we see Americans do it. Just so you know, we aren't alone. We see Americans go to foreign countries like Japan, or we see Americans go to other countries and they try to keep their American ways in another country. The truth is if you are going to go over to another country and you're going to live in that other country, then your job is to integrate and be part of that culture. You're not bringing your culture and you're not changing them. You chose that country because you liked something about it, and so you integrate. And the same thing goes for smaller communities. So you move to a different community, You can give new ideas because it's a good idea to take some of the ideas that the old ideas and some of the new ideas and you put them together. And that's fine. That is the diversity, that's our strength. But when you go in and you try to take away their other ideas, you try to go into the culture that you're in, and you're just like, you know what, I don't like that you guys are doing this, so we should get rid of this. No, the idea is to add. Diversity is about adding to the culture, not minusing from the culture. And that is a mistake that most of us make. And so what's happening is the elite know this, and so the elite are putting in, this monster class is putting in a bunch of people, and they know they're going to destabilize cultures. They're going to take two groups of people, and they're going to destabilize it so that we get none of the good out of either, and nothing but the bad out of both. And that's what their plan is here. So the next thing is I want you guys to think about it. What if they're not bad at leadership? You know, all these things, oh, well, why are they passing this? Or why are they passing this? Or why is Trump doing this that doesn't make sense that he says he's trying to help us? What if the plan isn't to help you? What if it's never has been? What if the ruling class, your governor, your mayor, your president, your prime minister, your dictator, what if it's never been for you? It's been for them and their group of friends. Every president in my lifetime here in the United States, every president in my lifetime has done nothing but screw us. I don't see how they've ever helped me. I tell people this. When's the last time the government has helped you? And you know what? That's the purpose of the government, is to help you. But when's the last time the government's helped you? For me, it's been a long time. A very, very long time since I can think of any time the government's helped me. Let me go through my notes. What's next? What do we need to talk about next? When have you thought about, like, there's things about cultures. It doesn't matter what culture you live in. There's things about cultures that are awesome. We want to promote some of the greatest things about each particular culture. But when has the government actually done that? When has some of your world leaders actually promoted the government, the culture? You know, when is they governed in a way to make your culture better? I mean, most of the time I see ways that they govern to make their individual lives better, but not necessarily government. So, because I know this is up on YouTube and other places, I'm just going to mention words that I'm not allowed to say. So, just FYI, if this gets cut off, that's why. But like, we get in this argument about what chemtrails are, okay? And I want to talk about this for a second. Who fucking cares what they are? They're clouds that are man-made, that are affecting crops. Oh, but Doc, they're not. No, yes, they are. They're causing the UV rays to not be able to penetrate as deep into the soil, deep into the plants. They're actually negatively affecting. They are one of the things that humans do that are negatively affecting the planet. But when I talk about things like chemtrails, and I talk about how bad they are, for some reason, oh no, that's a bad thing we can't talk about. But when other people talk about global warming and all that kind of stuff, oh, it's perfectly fine to talk about how the emissions coming out of the back of your car is bad. But when I talk about the emissions coming out of the back of a plane, I become a conspiracy theorist, even though I can clearly see on days that when it gets really cloudy, my plants don't grow as well. Oh, but Doc, conspiracy theory. And you know, let's talk about conspiracy theory again for a second. This is another word that the elite made up for us to be able to understand when we're looking for truths. We're looking for truth. We're trying to seek out the truth. It might be wrong. We might be going down the wrong path, but we're seeking it out. We're trying to figure out what is going on. And we have a word that can just quickly and easily make it so that we can just shut people down. We can just shut you up. The elite says, we don't want you talking about that, you conspiracy theorist. We're going to put a little bar down on the bottom of your post saying, this is the government, the elite, the monster class says that you're not allowed to talk about that because that's fake bullshit. Think about that. We know for facts. Let's talk about the Olympics for a second. We know during the Beijing Olympics, the Chinese sprayed stuff in the air to make it so that the weather changed, so that they could have better Olympics. We know that they did that. We know ski resorts spray things in the air. They pay people to cloud seed so that we can do Project Storm Fury in the 60s. Amplified Hurricane Hazel. This isn't conspiracy. This is stuff that we know that they do. But I'm not allowed to talk about this on here because the monster class says you can't talk about that. The monster class says, little peon, you don't understand what we're doing up here. You don't understand it. This isn't part of your world. So shut up and go back to pecking the ground, you little chicken. You little rooster. Go back to munching grass, you cow. And the reason they're so good at this today, and the reason they didn't have in the past, is because very few people are farmers anymore. And why is this important about being a farmer? Is because as a farmer, you understand when you have a flock, when you have groups of animals, you can make two major decisions in your life when you can have that. You can think of what's best for the flock, or you can think of what's best for each individual animal. I worked at the zoo, and they did this a lot at the zoo. Sometimes you just had to kill an animal because it was not good for the flock. So, now as a gentleman farmer, I don't practice things like that because I practice compassion. And guys, the trick is compassion is how you win. Just want you guys to know. You want to know how you beat the elite, how you beat them, how you live a luxurious life, how you thrive in this world is compassion. Because that's what they don't have. Compassion to your fellow man. Even compassion to the monsters. Have compassion to the monsters. You can hate them. You can hate them with every bone, every part of your body. But you can have compassion for them. Understanding that a monster is just a monster. And they're just doing what comes natural to them. So this monster class, I just want you to understand the next thing about this monster class is you think these rules, you think anybody's going to get prosecuted over the Epstein files? Oh, they'll find somebody. They'll prosecute some little peon to make all of the NPCs and all of the people that are AFKs, the people have just given up and tired of being in life and have just given up on life and they're just going to go be the cog in the machine. They'll prosecute someone for them. So those people can cheer and say, yay, the government did do something. They arrested a bad person. When all the really horrible monsters can keep getting away with everything. Sacrificial lamb. So we know they do bad things. They do horrible, horrible things. I mean, when you go and you really break down everything in the Epstein files, and you break it down, you're just like, holy shit, did people do that kind of stuff? And you're like, yeah, they absolutely did. You know, as an Xer, we talked about things that we were afraid of. We're afraid of things like quicksand. We're afraid of, vans, molester vans. We had that stranger danger crap. It didn't just happen with my generation. It kind of pushed off into the next one, but I, know a lot about it. Take a bite out of crime. What was it? I don't remember what the puppet dog was. But why'd they do that? They did that. They pageantry. They played to us with little puppets. Look, we're little puppets. We're going to play with you. We're going to make you think that they teach us dare. So, I don't know if any of you guys had dare in school. All dare did is help teach my friends how to do drugs. Taught them how to be sneaky about it. I think that was the purpose, guys. I'm mentioning all of this because This is still all part of their master plan. I want to build a strong foundation. A strong foundation of how they're just bad guys. And don't get me wrong, not everybody in the government's a bad guy. But guess what? They're working for the bad guys. They're like, well, I had orders and I had to do what the orders said. Yeah, you bootlegging son of a bitch. Follow those orders. What's up, Gangster 56? Shrub. Hope you're having a wonderful day. We are talking about the monster class, the elite, all that kind of bullshit that people don't realize that we are not the same as them. That they are just evil monsters and they're feeding on us like we are their crop. Mostly because we are. It's not our fault. They crowded us into these schools. Think about a school. You move when bells move. You have to ask permission to go to the bathroom. You have to follow by rules that some person tells you. I'm doing very well today. I'm living the dream. I have a farm. I live in southern West Virginia, and I just decided today is a good day to just go off and just talk about things. I'm seeing a lot of my normie friends. I'm seeing a lot of my friends that are brand new to this crazy world we live in. And they don't understand. Why are the elite? Why are the monster class? Why are the leaders of the world? Why are they like this? So, and we're just, we're talking about it. Now, I'm throwing in a lot of doom gloom, throwing a lot of red black pills here. I just need to make sure. Please understand that while we talk about all of the black pilled stuff and we talk about how horrible it is, the thing is you have your body, your spirit, your soul, your family, your friends. You can live a luxurious lifetime and just understand that you're actually not part of their system. It might feel like you are. And you might feel like you have to do their JOBs and you might have to dance around with their rules. And you might have to practice that kind of stuff. But in reality, you're a spiritual being with your friends and your family. And when you're not at your JOB and when you're not being controlled by the TV, when you're not being programmed, enjoy your time with your friends and your family. And understand that we as humans, we are meant to sit around fires. We are to collect food and we are supposed to have fellowship with other human beings. All the rest of this, while it's interesting and I love it, it's all distractions. Love is what wins. And that's the love of your family, your friends, yourself, your environment, everything. That's what's going to win. Anyways, let me go back to my notes because I'm meandering and I'm good at that. And I also need to be feeding as well. But see, I wrote notes. That's how important this was. I wrote notes today. So we think, like, let's talk about COVID for a minute there. You know, we think that they were, the elite were trying to, they came up with these grand plans to how to make our life better. And regardless, I don't care what side of the fence you fall on. I don't care if you think it's fake and gay or if you think they're actually trying to help. Either way, it was a control mechanism. They told us what we were going to do and we followed. Like, oh, well, here's what you're allowed to do. And it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you are, if you were someone who, got the vax or you're someone who was against getting the vax. Either way, it was still a control. They controlled you in both directions because what they did is they got you to be angry at some other people. You're not angry at the elite. How many people got angry at the elite? We got angry at the elite, but most of the time you sent all of your energy on the low-hanging fruit, that family member or that local person that was just following orders. Like I said earlier, just following orders. And you got angry at them and you're just like, I'm going to take all my anger out on them. And the elites got scot-free. Warp speed. And even after doing warp speed, after making sure the pharmaceutical companies got filthy rich, after injecting us with an experimental vaccine. So pharmaceutical companies got rich. an experimental vaccine. And we had a group of people that just absolutely, you had half the people support the person that fast-tracked it, and the other half of the people support the medical industry. So you got the people fighting it. You got both sides agreeing upon something. Instead of focusing on family, self, thriving, you got them to fight amongst themselves. And that's because the elite, the monster class, aren't the same as us. And I know people don't want to say that. Oh, no, doc, don't say that. Don't say they're not the same. And I want to say they're not the same because I'm not that evil. I might have backwards ideas on things, and you guys might not agree with everything. But you know what? I'm a farmer. I love my animals. I'm a gentleman farmer, as I said before. I care. My animals have names. I worry about when this animal's sick or when this animal's sick or when that animal's sick. I worry about the well-being of that one. When a baby hatches, I want to make sure it lives the best optimum life as possible. That's how I decide to run my network. But I'm not the same as these chickens. I'm not the same as my rabbit. I'm not the same as my ducks. I'm not the same as my pig. I'm not the same as my cows. I'm a steward. And I want to make sure the well-being of them. And they're going to give me joy. And they're going to give me happiness. And they're going to give me other things. But when the elite look at us, we're their animals, we're their farm, we're what they want to control. They don't think about our well-being. They think about what's best for them. And so that makes them already not the same. Already not the same as me. So I don't want to be compared to them. They're a different species. They're a different group. They're different. And that's okay. And if I can accept that they're different, if I can accept that they're not something that I want to be part of, then I also understand that their rules, that the rules that they have are not my rules. And when they put these rules in place and they're like, oh, well, you need to do this to be a good person or not. So I live in southern West Virginia. I live in a little town called Flat Top, West Virginia. So if you just look in, if you get on Google Maps, you look at Flat Top, West Virginia, you'll see a place called the Mavis Institute. That's right where I live. So I moved here 20 years ago because I was tired of the world and I wanted to figure out a way to put one foot in a world that I wanted to create and one foot in the world that the elite created. And that's what I've done. So what I do for a living is I teach people how to be, I'm the fundamental, I'm the ground roots, I'm the foundation to building a sustainable life. So it can be homesteading, it can be off-grid, it can be farming, it can be whatever you need to learn to be that foundation, that beginning level, because it's so quick to just think you can just jump out of the city and you can jump in. And I want to make sure you guys thrive. I want to make sure everyone that chooses this lifestyle, you choose it with nothing but absolute best chance that you can. So, all right, let me, let's go move. I'm going to move you guys over. Let me check my notes. What's next on my notes? Because I'm going off on tangents here. So right now, every one of you, I can't say every one of you because there's no reason I don't want to put everyone in the same group, but many of you feel overwhelmed. You feel like this world is just too much to handle. So, and the truth is it's not. It's actually, the world we live in is awesome. And it is everything that we need. So, yeah, that's the house that's right up behind that's the house right up behind me. Here, I'll show you. Let me show you real fast. So you want to see? You want to see the house you were talking about? I will show you. The Ashwood house. That is the Ashwood house right there. That's Mavis Manor right there. And where I'm standing right now is on the Google map dots. You'll see it'll say the Mavis Institute. That's where I'm standing right this second. So. And some of you may wonder, but Doc, you just doxed yourself. Absolutely, because I'm not afraid. If you guys want to come visit me, come visit me. If you guys hate me, I don't know why you come visit me if you hate me. That would be silly if you disagree with me. And I'm not afraid of the elite because I don't play by their rules. So I'm not really afraid of them. I don't know why my TTS is not working. It was working just a minute ago. So it's a lot more fun when my TTS is working. Let me disconnect my Bluetooth and reconnect it. So you're so far from me. Where you at? Where you at, man? You're on the other side of the planet. You're on the other side of the country. On the other side of the world. So I don't need to get all passionate, wrapped up in things. I do need to find my notes. I don't know where I put my notes. Oh, I still have my notes over there. So I want to make sure the TTS is working again, so I can actually do things where I just have to keep back and forth and looking and try to pay attention. But the elite guys, the elite are not our friends. The monster class are not our friends. You don't want to be like them. Honestly, you think you elect them, but you actually select them, because think about it, last time you voted. So man. Silly glasses. I wear them because they talk in my ears. I get talkie talks, and my talkie talk is just not working today. It's just saying no. It's saying no, Doc. You cannot hear these people. You just have to go back and forth. And all the other kind of good stuff. And I hit the wrong button. I don't even matter. Where was I at? I want to get Bluetooth and see if my Bluetooth is actually connected the way it is supposed to be connected. And it is. Okay. I understand both of them. If you want to say Miles works too. I have lots of international friends, so I got the audio working now. Cool. Okay, let me get my cheat sheet. Wow, that's a pretty good that's a pretty good distance. So you're pretty much on the opposite side of the planet. 7,700. You would probably be, my guess is that would put you in Asia or like Australia, maybe New Zealand. If we went that direction, if we went south, that would probably put you south of Brazil. I could put you in the lower part of Brazil, maybe Paraguay. And if we went diagonal into Africa, maybe South Africa. Oh, you're in Asia. Okay. Cool. Okay. Back to our thing. So do I know where Asia is? I do know where Asia is. So it depends on what country you're talking about Asia. Are you talking about like the Chinese Asia, the Russia Asia? Are you talking about one of the stands? Are you talking about you're going to go down to India? Are you going to talk about maybe you're even in Eurasia? So I just don't like when it draws lines. I'm not good at that line drawing because I don't actually know how long Europe is. So Okay. I like having conversations with people. Okay, India, cool. My little sister, the company she works for, there's quite a few furries. What is it called? Genpack. So she has some friends. She has some friends and people that work for Genpack. And I don't remember what country. I mean, I don't remember what city in India the people in Genpack work for. But she has friends that work for Genpack, and then some coworkers that work for Genpack. So. Well, good. Welcome. Okay, let's continue on with my rant. My friend in India here, and our conversations. I don't know. It's interesting. I don't know why your text is not showing up in TTS, which is very interesting. So, yeah, Genpack. It's a Indian company that does a lot of subcontracting with other, especially with American and British companies. It works. They do a lot of subcontracting out with other companies. So. But like I said, I'll be honest, I don't actually know enough about India to say, I don't know enough about India to know where or what region is. It is a country that I am extremely ignorant about. I just don't know. I know a little bit about Hindi, but don't know much about the country in general. It seems like I bet there's. Well, I'm not a city folk. I'm not a city person. So like the city pictures of India look like places that I would not want to visit because I'm just not a city. I'm not a city person. But I do actually some of the rural areas. Whew, they look absolutely awesome. I do know that there is a large Indian population where my significant other's family lives in Cary, West Virginia. Cary. What do I know about Hindi? Well, there's a class system in Hindi. So actually a lot of religions have a class system, but they have the two class systems. You have the spiraling reincarnation aspect of it. And you're continuously born back into the same class system. You have some pretty fun holidays. You have what is it? The color. Oh, I don't want to say them wrong, but there's the color holidays, and then there is you actually have your own different version of Christ, is in Krishna. You have a variety of different types of cool gods that do different things. Maybe that's what it's called. I'm not sure. I don't remember what the color holiday is called. It was when are they? Are they in October, September, October? I'm intrigued why only some of your chats are coming through and the other ones are not. So yes, that's it. Okay, Festival of Color. So that is it. I like the idea especially since Christianity and Hindu both have a Christ, and how there is similarities in the Christ consciousness. I think that's kind of a fun thing to think about. I don't think the religions are that different or that similar on the same aspect. So, okay. Like I said, I'm ignorant of some things. I just know when my friends talk about certain things. I have been to I've been to one Hindi wedding where they had elephants, which was cool. I don't remember why they had to have elephants, but they had elephants, and it was kind of an important part of the ceremony. Fed. I'm just trying to stay keeping fed, and also adventures on our trip. Okay, so I mean, I'm always open, I'll be honest, because I think religion is such an interesting concept. I'm always open to learn more, and if I'm wrong about things, I have no problem with being wrong. I don't know everything. I just try to be knowledgeable about things. I do know this fact. I know that out of the two countries in the entire world, the people that are considered the most industrious, the ones that invent the most things, that do the most, that create the most interesting things in the world, are Americans and folks from India. And that's why in America, a lot of our CEOs are Indian or have Indian descent, which is interesting. Our cultures are there's aspects of how we do things very similarly, which is cool. But again, I also think that people of the world are a lot more alike than they are different, which takes me back to talking about the elite and how the elite. So I think how the elite are absolutely the class that are bad and that are doing all the bad things to try to make us hate each other and not hate them, the ones that are doing the horrible bad things. So one of the things I want people to think about when it comes to the elite is, and I want you to think about this, when you think about most of the world's leaders, do they ever seem like they're actually trying to solve problems? They seem like they're trying to make your life, my life, all of our lives better. They rarely do actually seem like they're trying to make our lives better. Now, they do definitely seem like they're trying to make their lives better. They seem like they've got some secret agenda that they're not telling us. And the truth is they do. So the New World Order wants to kill 95% of us. No. Because killing us is too easy. So they say that to scare us. They say that they say that they want to kill 95% of us because it sounds funny and it sounds great. They don't care if they kill 95% of us. If they did that, they wouldn't care. But if they kill all of us, then who would they have to rule over? And that's what they like. They're doing it for the laws. They're doing it for the fun, because we are nothing but peasants. We are nothing but fodder. We're nothing but ants in their ant farm. They don't mind shaking it up from time to time. Some of us go, some of us, they know that they can just rebreed us. That's one of the things that people need to understand. It's not, if they kill 95% of us, they don't care. So, but if they keep 95% of us alive, but they can get us to do their bidding, they can get us to hate each other. They can get us to be angry at the neighbor. Oh, I hate you because you put a bigger fence up, or I hate you because you have a different faith belief system than I have. Or they can get us to hate each other over those. And that's power for them. That's something that they love. That's something that they find joy out of. So I want to get everybody on my stance. So evil. What is evil? I want you guys to understand. Written in English, evil is spelled E-V-I-L. Put that in a mirror. So above, so below, so within, so without. Evil backwards means live. Evil is just them trying to stop you from living. And if they've convinced you to not live the life, if they've taken your live away, you've taken this life that you have away, this gift from source, from your creator, from whatever you want to believe, this gift that we have inside of us, when they take that away, they take away your live. That's what evil is. It's taking your live. And if they can use it for their own power, if they can use it to make themselves happy, if they can use it for their entertainment, that's what they want. We live in the 5% bubble that the other 90% classified Bibles say all of us would have died if he had not stopped it. So, again, the book well, thank you. My ideology is uniquely mine from my personal life experiences of traveling, of researching, of looking into things. And by no means do I think other people are wrong. They have a different story, a different path. Life has given them a different level to look into. So I want people to understand that. So just because I don't necessarily agree with that they want to kill 95% of us and that it requires some infinite being, some father, some higher being, which I'm ignorant. Maybe it does. But I also believe that as someone who is placed here on earth with the gift, the power, and the grace to be human, it's my responsibility to speak the truth that I'm told and to live the best quality of my life, be an example to everyone out there as best as I can. And yes, am I at fault? Absolutely do faults. I am merely human and we make mistakes. But I can be the best version of myself that I possibly can be. And I want every one of you out there to be the best version of yourself, because you know what? That's how we beat the elite. If we're all the best versions of ourselves that we possibly can be. Because you never know who's watching. I want to remind this to everyone out there. Something that we tend to forget every day. Every day I want people to remind themselves. Every action that you do, you could be watched. But I want everyone to think about, doesn't matter what you do, standing at the gas station, going shopping, streaming, doing anything. Someone is watching you. You are being impressionable onto someone else. So your actions, someone else is looking to see who you are, what you're doing, and they're going to either mimic you or they're going to hate you for it. I want to go down as a hero. I want to go down as someone who's trying to fight the good fight, as someone who's being the good person, someone that was doing the right thing. And if it gives me less, if it means I have to sacrifice more, if it means that I don't do something that I necessarily want to do because I know that my nephew or the kid next door or just some stranger is looking at me and thinking, I want to be like him when I grow up. He was really nice to those people, or he really did the right thing. Look at that. That's how we have to live our lives. So that's what I got out of all the holy books that I've read. So out of all the holy scriptures, out of all the times that are being watched, but more, our own history is recorded in nature since Adam 1. Yeah, our history has been in nature, and we are this level of humanity we've probably hit 7 times. So this isn't the first time that humans have reached this level of technology, of awesomeness, of where we are. And the elites, they regularly, the monster class, I keep calling them elites, but they're not elite. We are the elite. We are the ones that are the best versions of humans that we've ever seen. Because we have compassion, we have love, we have emotion. We can combine motion and logic together and understand that these aren't imposing each other. You can be an emotionally logical person and a logically and emotional person. You can love the unknown. So, Okay. Let me, I'm trying to stay. What time is it here? You asked me like time it is, and I'm not a time-oriented person. It's 4 p.m. 4 p.m. here, or 1600. Yeah, 1600. So. So you guys want to know? Let me show you. This is life right here. This is life. Being able to hold life in your hand, being able to foster it, being able to stewardship is absolutely awesome. So, my hands are cold. I'm sorry, little bird. You want to go back under your nice warm mom butt. But that's the difference between me and the elite, me and the monster class. Me and the monster class is I see a baby chicken. I see a baby and I want to protect it. I want to do things. I want to make sure that it can live the best quality life it possibly can. Life, all life is important. Now, I am a reincarnationist as well, so that is an important role into that. Is as a reincarnationist, I view all life as vitally important because one day or today or even now, that could be me and I could be that. Or it could be someone I know, or it could be someone that I love, or it could just be that I just love a chicken. It could just be all of that all together. Either way, it does not matter. None of that is important because it is a life, and as a intelligent being, a divine spark inside means I should take care of that. I should take care of everything to the best of my ability. And as a man, it also means that my job is to protect. So that's what all that means. Did you reply to my chat and came across this, sir? I must have missed it. I must have missed if I replied. I'm sorry. I didn't see what you wrote. If you said something and I missed it, because some of your chats go through my ears and I can hear some of them and some of them I can't. And so, by the way, guys, if anybody's interested in this kind of stuff, you like talking about this kind of stuff all the time. We talk about farming, homesteading. It's 4:05. Yeah. It's about 4:05, 4:07, something like that. It's 4 o'clock, 4 p.m. Eastern time, yes. Anyways, what I was saying is if you like this kind of stuff, you like talking about weird stuff, you just looking for cool people that like cool things, so. So, I see human family of primates. So, it's funny. I actually don't view us as primates. I actually view us as a genetically modified beings that was genetically modified by us. Whoever the us's are, we genetically modified ourselves, and that's why we have DNA. That's why we look like primates, but we can replace bodily organs with things like pigs. That's why we can accept blood from other things. Well, if you need to go to sleep, my friend, wonderful talking with you. By the way, I was saying in the description below is my Discord. If anybody wants to join the Discord, go down and join the Discord. We talk about this kind of stuff. We have a cool, everybody's welcome. We talk about lots of weird stuff. But I actually don't view us, like I said, I don't view us as primates. I view us as unique individuals. I also view most animals as unique individuals. But Gangster56, thanks for hanging out. The Anunnaki definitely played a role in everything. The Anunnaki, the Sumerians, even the folks before the Anunnaki. Awesome, thank you. In the evenings, well, my evenings, so about 5 or 6 hours from now, I play video games. So that's what I do during the day. I'm a farmer. during the evening, I either teach classes or we play video games. So just so you know what you're getting yourself involved in. So yes, the Anunnaki, we are part of the Anunnaki, and the Anunnaki is part of us. But that is just part of the genetically modifying stuff because we are the aliens. So now they did not come here to collect gold. That is an elite story. That is an elite story to make us undermine the importance of that we are the Anunnaki and the Anunnaki are us. And that is just humans. Gold is just masculine energy, just as silver is feminine energy. And they want us to think that this is all about gold and all about minerals, but it's all about love. So good night, my friend. So, I mean, you're welcome to that belief system. I'm not saying you're wrong. I just what I mean so firm about when I say things like that is when I'm firm about things, it just means that it is not what I believe in. I believe in something different. So again, I could be wrong. So, and I am. So what I say is not gospel. What I say is the thoughts of myself. Yes, life has left Earth and returned many, many times. Many, many, many times. So, and by leaving Earth, I'm not even sure what that means. We might have left in this space, in this dimension that we lived in. We might have left Earth in other dimensions. So, I have an entire life, my friend. I've been studying Anunnaki. I've been studying this. I've been astral traveling. I've been doing all of that weird things for my entire life. But I am completely open. If you've got cool ideas, if you've got other things if you've got things that you'd like to share, I am all for hearing other people's opinions because there are ounces of truth that I've learned in every single person I've talked to. Even people that I thought I would completely disagree with, I've learned ounces of truth because we all have. Yes, we all have parts of the story. We all have parts of the story that tell us what our ancestral beings is. And so I share my parts of the story, and I hope other people do share their parts of the story as well, because that is how we learn. Remote viewing. I can astral travel. I can't really remote view. I've tried. I'm not very good at that part. I can dream walk. So I can go into other people's dreams. So I can enter the fairy realm. I don't know if you get it. That's probably my most unique ability that I can do, is I can go into the fairy realm. Whatever you guys want to call the fairy realm, that can be an alternate dimension. It can be a different plane. For me, that's just what I refer to it as. This is really frozen right now. We're gonna have to take this outside and smash this up. So I got a bunch of these frozen waters right now. So, by the way, if you want to see how cold it is outside right now where I live, it is this cold out. It's 11. So, what's up, Illister? We are talking about the elite and the Anunnaki and worlds and how the elite are not even part. Well, wait, I rephrase it. We're not calling them the elite. We're calling them the monster class. They're now the monster class. Hulk smash. What did I do there?
Positively tropical.
Yeah, that was amazing, guys. Okay, that was exactly what I wanted to do. Can you guys tell? It was perfect. Now I just need to turn my camera back on. Here we go. There we go. Let's not hit the camera. Let's not hit the camera this time with chunks of ice. Let's see if we can pull that one off. So I'm gonna go over here. So I'm a little farther away. Yeah, that's not gonna work very well. Anyways, so going back, we were wondering. We had some wonderful side conversations, but let's get back talking about the elite. So what is the elite? The monster class. Why are they hard to believe? They're not part of our species, and they are not part of our friend group. And we will never be them, and they'll never be us. And then we are nothing but their barnyard animals, their slaves. They don't care about us. Okay. I don't understand everything that you said there. But okay. Are you talking about astral travel or astral projection, or are you talking about remote viewing? Or are you just telling me, where was this at? Whose cage was this in? It was in theirs. Hands are cold, so. Minions. I actually believe that they are their own minions, and Satan is a story to point us so we know who the evil people are. And there's not just one, there's all of them. It's kind of like Christ energy. We have satanic energy. It's a type of energy that exists. So if I translate that in the way it makes sense in my head is talking about satanic energy, then yes, those people have satanic energy. And they use that satanic energy to reduce my life and make me have less live. Just as if you look at lived, L-I-V-E-D, backwards, it's devil. Anything that tries to take life away. So. Okay. Water, water, water. This is crap on the radio. You got them water, them water, them water. This is the next water I'm working on. I grab my notes because I'm totally. We are. I've got this railed like normal because it's very easy for me to go off on tangents because tangents is a skill I have. Absolutely. If you want to put it in the link below, or you want to send it to me as a DM. I'm pretty sure I can go back and view. I'm pretty sure, or you can put it in the comment section. That'd be cool. Put it in the comment section here on Rumble, and I'd like to watch that video. I'd like to see the video. I'm open to lots of videos. So. And it'll be FYI, I'm in the middle of feeding everyone right now. Okay, I'll make sure that when I go back, I'll click on that. But I'm in the barn right now feeding everyone, so I won't be able to view that. I won't be able to view that for a few minutes, at least until I finish feeding everyone. But we will check that out. We will definitely. Okay. Fed and watered. I got those guys watered. I just got to remember, I have to make sure I don't forget anybody because they will be very sad. Very, very sad if I do that. Because I have one job, not only to talk to you guys, but my most important job is to make sure that all my animals are fed and watered and have everything that they need to thrive. Okay. Good, good. We got one more. We got a duck over there. Let's get her handled. So you might be wondering, why are the elite, why are they wanting this chaos now? And they want this chaos now because they know that some great celestial event is about to happen. So I don't know what this celestial event means. I'm going to be honest. But I do think that we are going to see crazy major solar flares. I think we're going to see stuff that is... I think we're going to see things that are so outside of our current realm of understanding. I think part of the... they were trying to use climate change as a way to make us so we weren't noticing these weather changes that were happening around us. But they've opted that they can't actually use that anymore, and that it just didn't work. Okay. Now let's go with water for everyone here. Yeah, I've got my notes over here too, so I'll put you guys right back here. And I've got my notes. So what is this small scale killing that they're going to do? Because there are everybody's like, yeah, and including people think they're going to kill 95% of us. And like I said, I don't think they have a plan. They want to believe that they're going to kill 95% of us, but they need us for their entertainment, because we are their entertainment. Because some people want, well, what are the elite doing this for? First off, they have nothing but power. They have the power. They make the money. They control the game. That's what they do. Now, you can choose not to play the game. But when you choose not to play the game, it's really hard, because life is not easy when you choose not to play their game. But you can choose not to play their game. And when you choose not to play their game, they make life more difficult. So when you don't play their game, that means you have to make up your own rules. And you have to make up their own rules inside of their broken rule system. So you have to have one foot inside the rules and one side outside. It's kind of like playing your own version of Monopoly. So you know what the fundamental rules are, but you don't actually have to play Monopoly the way Monopoly is meant to be played. Theoretically, anybody can make up their own set of rules. We just don't. And so I'm gonna go very controversial here for some of you. So why COVID? Why COVID? Well, they alpha tested, I should say, because I actually think COVID was a beta test. They alpha tested all of this with AIDS. And they might have even done it times even before that, pre-alpha. There might have even been pre-alpha builds way before that, like Spanish flu could have been a pre-alpha build. But what they wanted is they needed to figure out if there's a way that they could, when they lied to us about how big the population is, because the population of this planet isn't 8 billion people. It's never been 8 billion people. It never will be 8 billion people. The population isn't that big. So what you said there, no, it's not true. Trump didn't do jack fucking shit. Okay? They're still spraying in the air. They're still spraying the exact same thing. They're actually just spraying it more. So the reason why our weather is changing is because of the sun, and has nothing to do with a pedophile. So whichever pedophile you have in power, it doesn't matter what they do. They're all part of the same team. And Trump did absolutely nothing about it. The chemtrails are just as bad. The chemtrails are just as bad as they were when I was a kid. The chemtrails have always been bad. The chemtrails are horrible for every way, shape, or form. So they're just just understand that I don't buy into that. I don't buy into that bullshit. The reason why winter is what it is because we just had some crazy solar flares. The sun is doing some such. The sun put extra energy into the atmosphere. We had the cold weather blob. The cold weather blob with the extra energy brought it down. That's why we saw the crazy weather that we had over in. And then we also been playing with weather manipulation. We've also been using weather manipulation to enhance all of those things. It's the reason why we made sure that they mess with their weather manipulation. If you watch, they'll spray the chemicals, they'll turn on their 5G, their 6G, they'll turn on their towers, it'll dip down. But they also usually always do it right around the time when the sun is doing lots of additional energy. So anyways, going back to COVID. COVID was just to show us that there wasn't as many people on the planet, and they needed to make the city smaller. They needed to make things. If you guys ever want to look into look into stuff dealing with Tartaria or the mud flood, and go back to pictures from the 1860s, and you'll see that there's actually very few people you see in pictures. And the reason for that is because, well, there always have been very few people. There isn't actually that many of us. We are special. We are unique. We are here. We are here because we are the gift. So, and HAARP can't change jet stream. That is they don't want us. This is what my belief system. You're welcome to yours. Like I said, I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just saying I have a different belief system. So they want us to think it's changing the jet stream because the jet stream is changing because the planet's tilting. So because the galactic current sheet, there's a giant galactic current sheet that comes from inside of our galaxy, not our solar system, our galaxy. And every 12,000 years, we're somewhere on one of the waves, and we're about to hit that again. That's what the Mayans were trying to tell us in 2012, to be prepared for the next cycle that was going to happen. The next cycle does weird things to Earth. We don't know what those weird things are. We do know that it affects the weather. And what they want is they want us to think that they want us to stop looking up, and they want us to think that they have the control. This is another thing that the elite do. The same reason why you keep chickens in cages, the same reason you do other things, is you want them to think that even when the unnatural things happen, you want them to think that you are the one in control. And so the reason why they promoted HAARP and all that kind of stuff as things to make sure us think that they're changing the environment, hence the reason the geoengineering to save the planet is also in the same category of how long has the galaxy been around? It's always been around. How about that? Always. So there isn't a time, because time is purely made up by us. We made up time. So always. And what does always mean? Always means always. So how long have planets been around? Now, planets are different, unique individual things, but our galaxy has always existed. It always will exist. And that's just my view of things. So anyways, the elite, they want us to believe that they have this. They have a level of control. They absolutely do have a level of control. They have a control of your basic everyday little things of your everyday life. So how long have us been around it? How long does it take us to go around it? I have no idea. I don't remember how long it takes us to go around the entire galaxy. I don't know if that's a knowable answer, because we're still not sure if we're actually in the Milky Way, or if we could actually be in an arm of another, where two systems are coming together like a hurricane. But either way, the elite want us to think that they have the ultimate control over even everything. They want us to think that they can control the weather, that they can actually control space and time. And the truth is the evil doesn't control space and time. We actually control space and time. Time is different for each individual people. Now, that sounds weird to people, but one of the problems with ADD, one of the reasons why people with ADD, someone like me, why I feel so erratic, why it doesn't make sense, is because I actually don't function in the same time as everybody else. So 26,000 years. Okay, sure. I mean, 26,000 Earth years is what you're saying. And Earth years change. Is that 26,000 Earth years? So I question for you, 26,000 Earth years. So that's 26,000. Is that 26,000 Earth years? Is that including? So I do have a question about 26,000 years. I just wanted you to think about something. So if it's 26,000 years, is that 26,000 years before or after we have to adjust time based off of our, of our tilt, based off of our wobble, based off of how we have to adjust time? Is it 26,000 years in Gregorian or Julian time? These are all really important questions. And I say that because we as humans have messed with time so much that time can just be something that's hard to understand. Anyways, irrelevant. I'm not arguing. I'm just asking questions because I'm very, like I said, I'm interested in this kind of stuff. So by no means am I trying to say anything other than let's keep talking because this is fun. So with the elite and the way that they are manipulating, and they want us to believe they can manipulate time and space, which they can't. It looks like they are because we're allowing them. We're under the veil. We haven't lifted the veil yet. We haven't perceived what they cannot do. Because like when you're a kid, you have belief systems that your parents installed into your head or your friends installed in your head. And then as you grow older, you realize those belief systems that were installed aren't necessarily true. And that's the same that the elite have for us right now, is they've installed belief systems that aren't necessarily true. I'll put you guys in here for just a second. You guys get to live in here for just a second. I need to get out the frozen. Frozen. So why do the elite treat us like the way they do? As I mentioned before, yes and no. The answer to that is it's folks that aren't part of that don't consider the elite, the monster class, are people that don't consider themselves human. They don't consider themselves part of this world. That lives are so different than ours that they can't understand our lives. That's who the elite, that's who the cabal, that's who the monster class is. That's who I'm referring to. The people that just cannot understand any of this. They've been born not even with a silver spoon in their mouth. They've been born with an understanding that they aren't the same. Just like I said earlier, the elite are the people that they think they're playing the game by themselves. They think that we are just pawns. And most people are just pawns. I'll tell you right now, most everyone is just a pawn. So, because very few people, and there are people, because very few people, they've given up already. They've thrown their hands in the air. I give up, Doc. I can't keep doing this. I'm tired of it. I just want to work my 9-to-5 job. I just want to be a cog in the machine. I just want to live my life. I just want to do things and not, it's the thing where it's that concept where everyone has a price. It's everyone has a price because the elite know that they can buy us all. And they probably can. I'm not going to say that everyone doesn't have a price. The elite have a price. I don't know what that price is. And we're not going to go, and I'm not, and the other thing is I'm not even sure I'm not even sure that you're cheap. Okay. Well, you should take your if you're cheap, then take your loss and run. Understand that just because you're cheap this time, you don't have to be cheap next time. Why would 1,000 years? Why? What is 1,000 years? What if that's a mistranslation? Because, we know that there's tons and tons of mistranslations. Also, 1,000 years during biblical time or 1,000 years during now time? And which year groups are you talking about when we're written into the Bible? Are we talking before we practiced daylight savings time? After we practiced daylight savings time? Before we had leap year? What about the wobble where we have to change every so many years? We have to change a couple seconds. If you have to change a second in every 2 or 3 years, then what's a second turn into thousands of years? I just want you to I'm just telling you things to think about. I'm not saying that I'm right. Just things to think about. And a book that's only 2,000 years old. A book that's 2,000 years old, maybe a little older than 2,000 years, but a book that's about 2,000 years old is only going to tell you 2,000 years old worth of history and data. So, just things to think about. Not saying you're wrong. Just fun things to think about. Also, a book manipulated by the elite. So, you can read their books. You can read their texts that they give us and they allow us to read. But the fact that there's multiple versions of it, the fact that those versions don't say the same thing, the fact that in Genesis 1, we talk about the gods made in our image, not his, not theirs, our. So, I mean, is a 3-hour movie long if you're engrossed into it? If it's the best movie you've ever seen? If every minute is exciting, is that long? Or does that time just fly past? And if it's a documentary of something you're not interested in, does an hour feel long? See, in my view, we live in a world. This realm that we live in, this world we live in is based off of feelings. Everything is about feelings. That's what love is. That's what anger is. That's what joy is. That's what sadness is. So when you get your hands cold, you feel it. When you experience time, you feel how short or how long time is. There's been times where, as a kid, you watch that time sitting in a classroom. It took forever. But then there's other times when you're around someone that's dying and you have minutes left and it feels like time just flies past and you have nothing left. And it's gone by forever. Time is a feeling. Time is a feeling. That's my view. Time is a feeling. It's a way for us humans to explain things as they go through. This is my best life? Sure. Every life is my best life. I'm a reincarnationist, just so make sure we know that. So as a reincarnationist, if this life is only 3 hours and so far minutes long, so I mean, this particular life, I'm shooting for 122. 122 is this goal in this life. Will I make it? I don't know. Might as well try. Could be fun to try. So, and if not, I'll play again next time. because the reward, my gift, is being human. So I think maybe that's another fundamental aspect that I need to make sure very clear to people that don't understand. I view being human as the greatest gift that we possibly have, being in this fleshy time machine, this fleshy machine that I get to, it's not even a machine, this fleshy time vessel that I get to travel through time on is just so much fun. I love it. The sweet isn't as sweet without the sour. And yeah, I need to change that one. That one's off a little bit, but whatever. That one right in my ear. I don't know why some of these read in my ear and some of them don't. Okay. Okay, friends, let me figure out put my gloves. My hands are getting cold. Okay. One thing I'm really bad at, guys, I'll be honest, is I can pretty much stay on track for about 30 minutes. You guys have noticed I can pretty much stay down a path for 30 minutes. Once I leave that 30-minute mark, it gets kind of silly. And I'm not that I am absolutely 100,000, 200% enjoying this conversation. It's just, it's going in directions. It's not going in any direction that's bad. Just going in. Well, I mean, 33 is the number of vertebrates we have as well. 33 is the percentage that people will put up with. You can take 33% away from people and they won't complain. Once you get over 33% of people, taking 33% of something away from persons, they start noticing and they start complaining. "33 is also falls into the category between 28 and 33, falls in the category of a woman's cycle. Which also means people tend to think that men don't have cycles too, and we have different testosterone cycles, sperm creating cycles as well. And those fall between 28 to 33 days. 33 is just a number. It's a human number. It's a very important human number that the elite don't want us to know about, so they hide it under esoteric control so that we think that's some sacred number that they understand. So, and the realm we live in is 37. If you guys don't know, the realm we live in the realm of 37. I want you to pay attention from this point on. You'll notice the number is going to be the most common number you see everywhere. It's because that's the realm we live in. Because this is the 37th time that we've played this game, this realm. And I don't know what that means. I don't know what the 37th time means. I don't know if it just means out of the 7 times, this is the 3rd time we've reached this particular level. I don't know. But 7 times 3 equals 10. 10 makes 1. This is the first time. This is why the first time you're experiencing all of this. That's why it feels like oneness. And if nothing I said makes sense to you, that's fine. Because it wasn't meant to for you if you don't understand. And that's not a disrespect. It's just not there yet. Because there's plenty of things that other people say to me that I have no idea what the heck they're saying. It just is super confusing. So, okay. I got the bunnies left. And my phone's probably going to die. I haven't heard it die yet, but my phone's going to die. I'm going to give it a few more minutes. I'm just going to keep talking.
68 is 97%. Right? Anything else?
Okay. By the way, my screen went black. My phone's going to die. If it just ends up dying and goes to the screen that says "be right back," I'm sorry. I had a wonderful conversation with you. I will view that. Make sure you post. I will go back and view that in the chat, but make sure you also post it in the comment section below there on Rumble so I can actually go back and watch it. If you are on Rumble, I'll give you a like and a follow because that's cool. I really enjoy cool people to hang out with. So thanks for hanging out. Thanks for chatting. And not that I want to go, but I don't have any way right now to charge my phone until it happens. So yeah. Yeah, it might stay on for a few minutes because I'm not sure. The screen goes black for a little while before it turns off. So, awesome. Thank you. But yeah, until we go, I just want to thank everyone again. If you guys like this kind of stuff when I feed the chickens, if you want me to rant and rave about this, just let me know. So this is the kind of stuff instead of just normal everyday stuff. So I kind of shying away from this, but lately I've just noticed so many people are lost, and I want to try to help people find guidance and put them in a direction where they might be unlost or less lost or something good. Is really where I'd like to be. Because if we all continue to be lost, well, I like being lost, but if we all continue to be lost, we'll never achieve the greatness in the world that we all can achieve. And every one of you, every single one of you that's watching this now or later and that kind of stuff, you're all awesome people. Source, God, Spirit, the ether, whatever you'd like to say, created you as a unique individual, an important being to exist now, to experience now.